New fantasy gacha game coming out tomorrow, Order in Chaos Guardians. Join my Discord so you'll know exactly when the APK goes live, when you can get it from the Play Store. It's not going to be on iOS. This is early access beta, no wipe. If you're not keen on playing beta and you want to wait till global, we've got other fantasy gacha games coming out before the end of this month still, and I'm going to have videos on those very soon. So just join my Discord. I've been playing this for 14 days. It's held my attention. I don't think it's going to be something that I play forever, but it's definitely something that's fun as hell to play right now while we're looking for that next Dragonair, Raid Shadow Legends, something like that, something huge. But this game might be good enough that I keep playing it on the side for years to come. It just depends on how this beta goes in tomorrow's update. We've got new bosses being introduced, new balancing changes, a lot of stuff going on. So we'll see how the end product is when we get to global launch. I'll show you how to re-roll in this. It takes about 13 minutes. It's kind of a beginner's guide as well, showing you the whole beginning process, the 200 summons that you get for free, as well as all the other heroes. Don't worry about what server you pick because it's cross server for guilds, cross server for some PvP. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Plus they talked about merging servers. We all start with Margaret. She's going to come out with that sassy walk. We're going to put all of our gear and all of our experience into her for quite a while, really for the next 10 minutes. And you can reset all these heroes very, very easily. Just go over to train. You see a reset button. Right now it's free. Later on it costs like 10 diamonds. So at any time you can reset a hero and bring them down. After about 10 minutes of playing, you're going to get forced to do 10 summons and everybody gets the same thing. You're going to get Roxana, who is a light hero. And it's very unlikely you're going to get another copy of her because light heroes and dark heroes are really hard to come by. But for now, she's extremely strong. So take Roxana up to 41 as quickly as possible. Like as you're playing, put all your best gear on her, put all your other gear on Margaret, and then just keep leveling Roxana up until she's 41. Take Margaret up to 40, and I'll show you that lineup in just a minute. So as soon as you get Roxana, though, come over to the shop, go over to Privilege, and you get a whole bunch of free VIP. And since it boosted you so far, you're going to need to hit that left arrow button and collect all these rewards. These will be your reroll summons if you want to reroll. Now, you can't delete an account in this game. You can only jump over to a different server. And when I started, there were 4 servers available in my beta test. There might be more in this one, but even if there's 4, going and doing this for, it's a 13-minute reroll. Doing this in 4 servers is plenty. You're going to get plenty of summons to look at before you decide to move forward and go for that like additional 45 minutes. I think it takes a total of 50 minutes to get to the 200 summons. But this only took us 13 minutes to get 50 free summons and 60 total. Plus we're going to pick up a whole bunch of splendid heroes here, but we use these to enhance our legendary. They're really called epic in this game. See where it comes out and says an epic? Those are our legendary heroes. They got a legendary border. Once we level them up, they even say legendary, and we get one every 30 summons. So the pity is light in this game, and we get lots of summons. We get lots of, like the events they do are really good, and we're always summoning heroes. That's what I like about it. I got lucky on this summons and got Helrina, which is the strongest backline nuker in the game. So if you see her, go with that account. I just got extremely lucky going over here and recording all this so that we could do this video. But 13 minutes to reroll. You have to switch servers. It's easy to do. Just look for that cog icon at the bottom left and then go over to whatever server is available and then stick with whichever server rolls the best heroes, which we're going to talk about in just a minute once we get to those 200 summons. We've got 10 faction summons. Go ahead and do those because even though the faction summons are only available at certain days, that pity system does not reset. That 20 pity that you see right now when we go into a different day or it loops back in 3 days from now, that pity will still be at 20. So you can go ahead and do those 10 summons. Take this survey, get 5 more summons, and this survey is going to ask you, do you want a PC client? And you tell them yes, even type it out in notes. Tell them to get me a PC client by global launch. I'm really happy they're asking us about this, so I'm hoping that we're going to see a really cool PC client when global happens. Plus you get 5 summons and all these other rewards, so you're gonna want to do it. Now, if you want to continue on, if you don't want to re-roll, if you're good with that account and you want to play further, you're going to play for another 40 minutes and eventually you're going to have your heroes at 42 or 41 right there for Roxana. It's going to unlock a 4th ability for her And then over with Margaret, you can see she's 40 in the back. I've got other people in here at level 10 to help us out. And that's going to make sure that you can clear all of chapter 3 and the spire, which is the tower mode, up to floor 20, which is what I did. Then after we do this, then we jump over to our 200 summons. Top left where I have that arrow, that's where you click on to get the rewards that we're talking about. To get the 200 summons, to get the selector chest eventually after the 200 summons, there's a lot of cool stuff in here that you basically just follow. It tells you right there to go knock all these quests out. Really easy. You're going to keep leveling your heroes up. You're not going to get stuck while you're trying to do this. You won't. You just keep putting on new gear that you have and leveling up your heroes, and you're going to be fine. So we have 10 more summons to do. We're going to knock those out, and then we're going to go over to our 200 summons. Even though you're doing 200 summons, you only get to keep 1 10 pull. So this is where it's important to know what heroes to save. Like Alfred here is a tank. I'm not too keen on trying to get the best tank at this moment because I want to level up. I want a hard-hitting nuker, a really hard-hitting DPSer like Helrena that you saw me pull earlier. And we'll talk about these heroes in a minute. I'm just doing the 200 pulls. You can see the legendaries. They're called epics in this game. But when you level them up, they're called legendaries. I don't know why. You know, all these game companies should know by now there's a universal system to gacha. For I don't know, 90% of the games out there. You got legendaries, you got epics, you got rares, you got like uncommons, commons, things like that. But it's always legendary, epic, rare. We've got other melee units that we don't want to start the game with. They're not the best thing to do with melee units, having them be like your highest DPSer. We want a little time to get in there and get our ultimate abilities off. We don't want to pick a support, and we do want to pick this ranged nuker. She is really good, plus we get an additional copy of her on day 2 for free, so we can merge those two together and make them really strong. If you're lucky enough to get 4 copies of any hero, then you can really level them up high. So what you're looking to do is get 4 copies eventually, not right now, not on day 1, first 45 minutes playing, but eventually you're going to try to get 4 copies of whoever, and they do events. So you'll be able to target a hero eventually. Plus they do events for light dark heroes, and you get a free light dark hero every 7 days. And I've been playing for 14 days, so I've gotten 2 already. Plus I did a light dark event where we were going for Paris, and I got her multiple times because they give us a lot of free summons. Although I did spend money, but you will get one of her if you save up and you get all the free summons they're going to give you. And you will definitely get whatever kind of exclusive summons they do for the regular heroes like this, like Ruchi. You can see her. You'll get that one for free no matter what, whenever you play the event. Let's talk about the best heroes to go for your reroll or for your 200 summons once you get there. You get 1 copy of every non-light dark every single day, and then you get a light dark hero every 7 days. So we're going to pick up people like Holly again at day 6, plus they give you one for free. So you merge those two together, you make her much, much stronger as a healer and as somebody that boosts your team to make sure you can do your ultimates early. She is a staple in almost every single team you'll find in arena and going through campaign and tower mode. And you get her for free, and then you get her for free again at 6 days. So it's not somebody I would try to go for. If there was really nothing else out of your 200 summons and this was only her, then sure, I'd pick her up. But I'm sure you can find somebody that can help you nuke. We need people that can nuke backline units. It's hard to get to those units. And the best one by far is this lady right here, Helrena. She is a monster. I don't think that's going to change with the update they're doing tomorrow. But right now, she is by far the best. You get another selector box at the bottom there where we got the 200 summons where we can select her. So out of that selector box, I would always pick her. I would try to pick up another copy like I got lucky with one. And then we're going to get her again at day 10. This is the target you want to go for, I believe, right now, because she is so strong. She's in every team you see. And even against boss fights, she's still extremely strong. And she's only going to get stronger. Once we can unlock further down to like this one, to where we're hitting 3 random targets instead of 2. If you can get a copy of Ella, that's great. This tank is amazing. Best tank in the game. Gives you control as well as shields to people to keep them alive. Like the first person that gets down low. She is really, really good. So if you see her, then I would pick her up. But obviously, this one first. If you don't see Helrena out of the 200 summons, get Ruchi because you get her at day 2. That's going to make her really strong, and she is great. I do like Nicole, but I haven't really made a team focusing on her all the time. I've made a team for gear dungeons because we have to make different affinity teams for that. And she is really strong. She does a lot of shots to the back line, but she kind of does a lot of small hits to the back line over time. Whereas Helrena will just nuke them and kill all those casters or really hard hitters in the back. She'll just outright obliterate them, where it takes Nicole a little time to ramp up. And then eventually she's hitting those backline units and doing well. But if you did see her, sure, you could pick her up. If you don't see Helrena, if you don't see Ruchi, then you could pick up Nicole. You could also pick up her if you have Ruchi, because she will do a lot of damage if you have somebody applying Frost. But you have to have somebody to apply Frost. I wouldn't go with Sigrid, because even with the fire debuff up, with Sigrid doing more damage, she's just hitting too many targets. And it's damage, it can be damage spread out too much. If you don't see any of those other heroes, you could go with Hares. She's pretty damn decent. Plus, you get a copy of her right away. And you could go with this guy, but he does fall off after a while as far as you being able to take out those backline units that you want to take out, because he's doing some random damage. If you see Orin and you don't have Helrena or any of the other ones, then you can pick him up. This guy's actually really good. I think he's a bit underrated. He does damage based off of enemy max HP. So against bosses, he's very strong. He can do multiple damage hits to people in the same row. So if you're trying to get to that backline unit, you could do a lot of damage off of RNG and just play the wave over and over until he nukes them really hard. Plus, he's going to do this missile that fires out down to every 6 seconds once it gets leveled up. Number 1 is right here. Number 2 would be maybe Ella or Ruchi to get another copy of Ruchi. You could definitely pick up Nicole if you wanted to. You could go with more copies of her if you had to. That would be fine as a whole overall nuker. And then if you do have Frost debuff applied, you could grab her. And I think those are the main ones that I would focus on to start with. Oh yeah, Orin. I hope that helped you, but if you have any questions, join our Discord. We're there day and night to help you out. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you all in a video soon.